Sorry about that. We had a slight technical difficulty, but we're back now. Hope you could stick around. Where did we end off? We ended off with
registrations. Correct.
Exactly.
So basically, we kind of talked about how you can make that BRP session, the session where you could register for the municipality at the Student Services Center. You can register for it online. The exact dates are not available yet. They're usually at the start of the academic year, when all the students come. So if you basically would Google BRP session, Maastricht University, just the 3 letters B, R, and P. I don't know if that was too fast for some people. Yeah, because sometimes you could think it's a different word. But you can basically find that online once the official dates are released. I would give it like another month, then they probably know for sure. Otherwise, it's very important for the non-EU people. They would have to go to the actual municipality, or people what I mentioned or touched upon, the people that missed that BRP session. Then you can make an appointment with the municipality. Same documents are necessary. For in that case, your residence permit or your visa is also required if you don't already, if you're not a citizen here. But yeah, so basically it's kind of the 2 categories, non-EU, EU, or the
And is there a cost involved in this?
At the BRP sessions that we have, not. I'm pretty sure the municipality doesn't have any costs either, so it's free.
What's important to mention is as soon as these dates come up, register for them, as soon as possible, because they are going to be gone super quickly. Yes. And if you miss the dates for these BRP sessions, that's fine, but register as soon as possible for the actual municipality, because
fees could apply,
Exactly, fees can apply, and these spots fill up really, really quickly, because obviously everybody's trying to register as soon as possible.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically it.
Well, thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
Hope that answered some administrative questions, and we're just going to roll a video about the Student Service Center, where it's located, etc. Thank you again, Rachel.
You're welcome.
Hello, this is Felice. Hey Felice. She studies at Maastricht University and visits the Student Services Center located on Kapoenstraat number 2. Here, you will find the information desk if you have any questions. The staff can provide information on diploma evaluation, admission procedures, deregistration, and last but not least, graduation. At the Coffee Lovers, you can buy a nice cup of coffee. You can also make use of one of the study rooms with free Wi-Fi, which is located in the building. In the hall, you will also find the Maastricht University gift shop. Here you can buy a fashionable sweater. Wow, it looks great, Felice. The Visa Office helps students with obtaining, changing, and extending visas and residence permits.
You were here for your residence permit, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay, just a second.
At the Scholarship Office, students can obtain information about scholarships. Are you searching for a nice student room in the centre of Maastricht? Maastricht Housing is both mediator and provider of student housing. All housing, whether furnished or unfurnished, is specifically aimed at students and staff of Maastricht University, Selts University of Applied Sciences, and Jon van Eyck Academy. Members of Maastricht Housing will automatically receive updates on the recent housing supply. Student life is great. Going to the pub with friends, enjoying the city, activities with your student association, or participating in a lively debate. Studium Generale offers a programme of lectures, debates, short lecture series, films, concerts and comedy shows during the evening hours. Join the discussion or listen to a lecture. It will surely enrich your student life and expand your horizon. The in-between is the ecumenical chaplaincy in town. It's an open, welcoming community where students from different backgrounds get together to discuss the big questions of life. Whether you want to improve your health, train with a specific goal, or just play sports with friends, Sport offers a comprehensive sports programme. If you prefer to design your own programme, then working out in the gym or joining group classes might be something for you. Playing sports in a team, however, is also possible, for instance by joining a student sport association. As a university, you're expected to be independent and take care of your affairs yourself. This does not mean, however, that you won't have any questions. The student counsellors can help with questions regarding psychological support. The student deans can answer questions regarding study-related legal support and disability support. Career Services supports students to get prepared for their future careers and to make considered study choices. The services include workshops, information, advice, counselling and career events. We hope to welcome you soon to the Student Service Centre at Kapoenstraat 2. We care about you.
Welcome back. We're just going to quickly roll a video about My Maastricht, which is another platform that students can use. Yeah. Sorry about that. We had a slight technical difficulty, but we're back now. Hope you could stick around. Where did we end off? We ended off with registering.
Hey, you! I heard you're going to study abroad soon. That should be fun, right? I bet you can't wait to party and embark on the student adventure that lies ahead of you. But wait, there are a few things that will make your life way easier if dealt with up front. That's where we come in. As former students, we went through all the struggles ourselves. Now we want to help you by providing all the information you need on one website. So sit back and let us show you how to get settled before it's time to explore your new city. Welcome to Maastricht. Maastricht is a university city located in the heart of Europe. Arguably the oldest city in the Netherlands, Maastricht used to be a religious centre and an early industrial metropolis. Today, it is famous for the Maastricht Treaty, the birthplace of the European Union. Of Maastricht's 120,000 inhabitants, 20,000 are students and half of them come from abroad. You'll find great events, eat lots of fried food, celebrate Sinterklaas, and see the entire town go crazy during Carnival. Here, where you meet Europe, you will encounter a truly international environment embedded in Dutch culture. Sounds cool. Let's see what the city looks like. The city of Maastricht is separated by the River Maas. Points of orientation are the Market Square and the Vrijthof on one side, and the Central Station and University Hospital on the other. The faculties are spread throughout the city, so your choice of study may play an important role when deciding where to live. Speaking of which, how do you find a room? To find accommodation, you'll need to ask yourself a few questions. Do I want to live alone? How long am I planning on staying? And what is my budget? Whether you have to sort out your own utilities or pay house taxes is dependent on these choices. Recycling your household rubbish and buying second-hand furniture can save you lots of money too. Don't forget to register at the municipality to make sure you receive all the important letters and avoid fines. Great, you found your home. Now what's the best way to get around town? In the Netherlands, bikes are the main mode of transport and we highly recommend getting one. Make sure you get a proper lock too, since bike theft is unfortunately quite common. If you want to use public transport, the OV chip card is the official payment method. It will only charge you for the distance travelled, but vergeet niet uit te checken, or you will lose your deposit. If you decide to commute or keep your car, check our information on parking permits and park and rides. Making informed choices can save you lots of money, which brings us to your finances. Here, the first step is to open a Dutch bank account. In combination with your digital identification, or DigiD, you'll be able to make use of benefit opportunities like huurtoeslag and kwijtschelding. For some extra cash, check out the possibilities on part-time jobs. After all, managing your budget efficiently will enable you to live the independent life you're aiming for. Last but not least, you shouldn't have to worry about your health. In the unfortunate case of illness, the first thing you do in the Netherlands is to visit your huisarts. This family doctor will be your gatekeeper to the Dutch healthcare system and will, if needed, prescribe you the right medicine or redirect you to a specialist. In case you start working here, make sure to take out Dutch health insurance and check if you're eligible for zorgtoeslag. Finally settled? Time to explore the city. There are lots of different opportunities waiting for you in town. Try our inspiration games or just browse our sections. Sports organizations, community involvement, events, and what's happening in the media. We cover it all. Everything you need in one city, everything you need on one site. Visit mymaastricht.nl and make Maastricht yours.
Welcome back. We're joined here by Iris Hillige and Nika Brühl, who both are members of Sports, which is a sports center within Maastricht. And they're going to talk to us a little bit more about the facilities and things that you can find there, etc. Welcome to the table, guys.
Thanks.
Iris, should we start with you? Tell us a bit more about Sports.
Well, Sports is the sport building within Maastricht University, and you can just go there to do classes and everything. And I'm in the board of all the sports associations. So we have also 27 sport associations you can join, and some of them are outside of the building, like the hockey fields are in a different place in Maastricht, also the tennis fields. And I guide all those 27 associations. But we also have some other classes at Sports, and then you don't have to be part of an association. Maybe explain the different classes.
We offer a lot of different kinds of sports at Sports. Obviously, we have a gym where you can just go and do your own thing, but we also have a lot of different classes. For example, it's dancing or volleyball or basketball, but it's also classes based on strength or cardio. It's a great variety, really. You can also go swimming or hire squash courts, whatever. We have a lot of options, really.
And where is the Sports located within the city?
It's on the other side of the river, so not in the city center. It's close to the Faculty of Psychology and the Faculty of Health and Life Sciences. It's called Randwijk, the suburb. And it's like everything in Maastricht, so close and nearby. If you buy a bike, you'll be there in 15 minutes from MSP.
And is there a cost involved in joining Sports?
There are 3 kinds of memberships you can buy.
You have, like she said, 3 different kinds of memberships. And the first one we have is called the basic membership. If you want to buy the basic membership, it's the cheapest one, and you can only hire squash courts with it or buy swimming entrances. And then we have the sports membership. If you buy that one as well, you can go to all our classes with it, and you can also join sports associations. You need the sports membership for that. And you can also buy the gym membership, which is it allows you to go to the gym, really. So those are 3 kind of options you have. It's possible to get all 3 of them. It's possible to only get basic. But if you buy the sports or gym membership, you always need the basic. So
do you know the specific costs for each of them?
I know that next year, so from the 1st of September, I believe, until it just lasts the entire school year. For only basic, I'm not quite sure, but if you buy basic and sports for an entire year, that's 89. Sorry, 89 euros. If you buy basic and gym, that'll be 150, and if you buy both, all 3 of them, so basic, sports, and gym, that'll be 200 euros.
And that's for one whole year?
Yeah,
for one whole year.
One academic year.
Yep.
Exactly.
You can already buy it in August if you come here.
You have an option of try 5, right?
Yeah,
yes,
that's always during the introduction week at the faculty and the week before the Inkom. They have I think 5. You can try
yes, you
5
can try
sports.
5 times, either the gym or join a class or whatever, and then you can try 5 times for free, really.
Okay. Yeah. And if you want to join a sports but don't want to join the association, is that possible? Or?
For some sports, we have also walk-in classes. Okay. So, for instance, if you don't want to join field hockey, then on Wednesday, Sports has their own training. They are renting our fields, and then you can just go there only on Wednesday. But you need to have the sports membership then.
Yes, it's the same with either volleyball or basketball, but also indoor soccer. So we do have a lot of actual sports that are just walk-in, so you can join them with only the sports membership.
Yeah, it's only trainings then, no competition.
Yes.
And is there any options for people who are staying in Maastricht over the summer to continue doing their sports at the faculty? At the facilities?
It's really just from the moment you get here and you decide that you want to go to Sports, you can join us really, because we have the you can already buy the membership for the new year then in around August. But if you decide to only try, maybe you want to try the gym for once just to see if it's if you like it, then you can also buy a tryout, which is €7.50, and then you can you can go to the gym once and just see if you like it or whatever. But then I recommend to try 5 during the Inkom.
Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on more the sports associations? How do you think international students fit into that? Are there lots of associations which are international, or
Yeah, there are a lot of internationals who are doing sports, because the fun thing with a sport association is we combine fun with sports. So you can just do your sports, the one you like, and then we have drinks and everything as well. So we organize parties, but we also do things with the whole group, and we combine all the sport associations as well together. So there are now 27, and in September we're getting 3 more. So then we'll have 30 sport associations. And like for last weekend, we went to Wageningen University, and all the universities in the Netherlands were there to compete different sports. So we were like over 2,000 students who were doing sports, and you can make a lot of friends, and you get to know a lot of new people, and it's like a lot of fun. Yeah, it's not only sports, but sports is the main thing.
Yeah.
Can you? Sorry. Can you name some of the most out there sports that the facilities offer? Like the most arbitrary or crazy, I guess, or different.
The one with the kickbox with
it's
aerobic
called,
things.
You mean the classes at Sports?
I mean just the sports association, like
sports associations.
Just in general, like.
We're getting 3 new ones in September. So we're getting chess, water polo, and American football. And we now have rugby, soccer, indoor and outdoor, tennis, field hockey, floorball. There's so many. There's so many.
As you guys can see, there's like a whole variety. There's something for everyone to pick, which is amazing, I guess. Just unrelated kind of to the sports facilities, but maybe for how the students can get there. I have a note here about getting a bike. Can you guys give any tips on?
Yeah, well, if you're here in the Netherlands, it's highly recommendable that you get a bike. I mean, everybody uses a bike here. And in Maastricht, everything is close to each other. You never have to cycle really far, so it's super easy. So you can buy bikes on Facebook or whatever. There are a lot of pages for that, but you can also rent one. There are a couple of companies that hire bikes, and you have to pay for per month, I believe. One of them is called Swapfiets. But also the OV, so public transport, also has bikes, which you can rent as well. So whatever you think is easiest.
So speaking about these Facebook groups for bikes, you have to be a little bit careful that you don't buy a bike which has been stolen. So what I did, I would probably recommend is whenever you buy a bike over the internet, make sure that person gives you some kind of certificate where it says like, you on this date bought this bike at this and this place. So just in case you do get a complaint, you can always trace back the person who you bought that bike from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And when you buy a bike, prices can range, but they're usually around like 60 euros or something like that.
I think so. I wouldn't actually know for sure.
Yeah. But it is definitely recommendable that you buy a bike because you will use it for everything, basically, going anywhere. Yeah. And make sure you buy good locks. Yeah. Because lots of bikes get stolen.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Iris and Nika. We don't have any questions, so we're just going to show you a quick tour of the UM Sports facilities. Welcome back. We're joined here by Michelle van Mulken, who's the project coordinator for Match, for Brighter Futures. Can you tell us a little bit more about what Match is?
Yeah, so basically Match is an organization within Maastricht University, and what we offer students is basically really interesting and valuable and also fun volunteering opportunities. So we're really trying to connect the university and its beautiful students to the local neighborhood. So I think the importance of this is that students really put to use their personal and their professional skills that they learn within the walls of the university and actually apply it in the community, and really show the community as well how valuable students are to the Maastricht community.
I mean, there's like, what 50% of the population in the city, or is it a little bit less?
It's less, but it's still like the student population is quite large, and so I think it's really important to show more and more to the rest of the community how valuable students are, and how much they can really contribute to society.
So can you give us some examples of what Match has done for the community?
Yes, so just to distinguish, because Match has like two roles. One, we connect students to other organizations. It's basically a student comes in, says, okay, I'm interested, for example, in working with refugees. So we have connections with the In-Between. They offer, they organize this project, develop this project, so we connect them to the In-Between. And then in addition to that, obviously the Salvation Army, so there's a lot of match students that we connect to the Salvation Army. They're now cooking for the homeless. And we also have our own projects. So Match for Brighter Futures is one of them.
Okay.
So do you want me to
explain
or elaborate a bit?
On the Brighter Futures.
Cool.
Sure.
So basically the students, there are now 18 students contributing. It's expanding. What they're doing is they're actually helping high school kids. They're helping them with their homework, but also coach them whilst they're going through obstacles that are currently preventing them from either concentrating at school or just basically to create a happy and successful future. So that's one of the projects. Another one that's a really cool project is that we actually have match houses.
Okay.
So the students who are currently living there, they spend 8 to 10 hours really actively engaging with the community. There are community gardens that they set up together with everyone, and it's really like a social hub where the whole neighborhood comes together. And so they get a lot back from it, not only in terms of I guess satisfaction and that good feeling like I'm doing something really good and I'm having a really good impact, but they also pay less rent. So I think they pay less than €100 in terms of their rent, in exchange for 8 to 10 hours of community work as such.
A week, 8 to 10 hours a week, or a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not a day. Not a day.
Where's the time
that
to
would
study?
be slavery. Yes. Yeah.
Are there like any requirements? Do you need to be able to speak Dutch, or is there anything which you're supposed to bring to the table, or previous experience?
It depends which project.
Okay.
So we have international students coming in, and then, for example, the refugee project, that's one of the projects. We've been part of the premium project, which is kind of like a honors program for master students, where we also where international students obviously also participated in doing a needs assessment. But for some, like for example, helping kids with their homework, they do need at least general kind of basic Dutch skills. The same goes with the match houses, because they need to communicate obviously with the people in the community. But we still have a lot of foreign students, and one of the video that will be displayed shortly after this, I mean, there are a lot of international students as well, but they do speak basic Dutch as such. So that is generally a requirement, not all the time, because we do try to link as many students to organizations and projects that suit them. And
And how do students apply for these positions, or how can they get in touch with Match?
So basically they either can go to our Facebook page, Match Maastricht, or they can go to our website, just maastrichtuniversity.nl/match. And then there's all our contact details, all the different projects there are, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So
we have one question here
asking,
do you have a list of external organizations you associate with in each project, and do these change during the year?
So we have a list of obviously organizations that we currently collaborate with, or we send students to, or link or match students with. And that does change. Sometimes they're just looking for students, say within the next 2 weeks, because of certain projects that they're running, and then we try to, I guess, find students for them, etc. So they do change on a regular basis. So we're really trying to, I guess, form that link between organizations and the student community.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Michelle.
Yeah.
I think that right about sums it up, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to add?
What would I like to add? No, I think, for example, like the match houses, that's the only thing, I guess, and that would all be explained in the video. So I don't think my words can add anything. I think it's just just about seeing it in that video. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I just would like to invite, I guess, all students to really become active.
Sure.
And to really contribute, to the local community, because you develop a lot of not only your professional skills but also personally. You get a lot back for it, and it's fun, and it's you're doing it with a lot of other students, so you're not by yourself. Yeah. So I would invite everyone to sign up. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Well, thank you. We'll show you a short clip about Match and the projects they work on. And once again, thank you, Michelle, for coming.
Great, thanks.
Masha zet zich 1 dag per week in voor de Maastrichtse wijk Mariaberg.
We maken een bankje op de grasveld en ik heb deze geel geverfd.
Samen met haar 2 huisgenoten organiseert ze projecten om de verbinding in de buurt te vergroten.
De werk is basically, jij bent een vriendje voor de buurt. Je versucht de Leute te integreren, de buurmensen te involveren in iedere project en de statushouders ook. Statushouders zijn mensen die hier een paar jaren leven of langer dan een half jaar leven en de status krijgen om hier verder te leven te kunnen.
In ruil voor hun inzet betaalt Match een deel van de huur.
Ons huis is echt een mooi huisje. We hebben 4 plekjes, we hebben een tuintje, we hebben alles wat nodig is.
Er komen heel veel nieuwe zonnebloemen. Kijk, want door jou zie ik dat mijn buurvrouw nog dapperder is dan ik daar. Je straalt gewoon je ogen.
Ja, het toch. Daarom die kleine actie.
Ja, dat is wel leuk.
Met haar projecten sluit Masha zoveel mogelijk aan bij de wensen in de buurt. Vanuit het Matchhuis maakt zij het verschil door contacten met en tussen buurtbewoners te faciliteren.
Ja, kom! Kom erbij! Ja, kom je ook met de beesten, anders is dat niet leuk. Kom je ook met de beesten.
Als ik de eerste keer van Match hoorde, dacht ik, wow, dat is echt eigenlijk een super mooi en coole project. En waar ik ook social design richting gaan wil, was het de perfecte match voor mij.
Wil jij ook het verschil maken in een Maastrichtse wijk? Solliciteer nu.
Welcome back.
Zich 1 dag per week.
He's the chair of the Inkom board, which is he'll explain the income to you. So welcome to the table, Mark.
Thank you. All right, so the income is basically what you get once everything is finished. So you got your house, you got your study, but then you come to Maastricht, and what are you going to do? Are you just going to sit at your table at home? No. You want to do something besides studying, and that's what the income is for. During the income, that's 2 weeks before the start of your academic year, you can see basically everything that students do in Maastricht. So we have 5 days full of activities that show, for example, study associations like the one you're a part of, but also all the sport associations and all the cultural activities that happen in Maastricht. So basically you get an overview of what the student life is in Maastricht without the study being part of it.
And how can people join Inkom? Is there?
Yeah, you can join online at inkom.nl. You can buy a ticket for the whole week. And what does that ticket give you? Well, for that whole week, you come here on Monday, and you get a group of 10 people and 2 older year students, And basically they will be your guides throughout the week, show you all the activities that happen here in Maastricht, show you the different parties that organize stuff here in Maastricht. And yeah, also take you to a bit to some parties during the week, because it's still your vacation, so you still have to go to enjoy it.
Is there, I mean, you mentioned that you showcase the student associations, the study associations, etc. You mentioned the parties. Is there any specifics you can give, or like, are there pub crawls or?
Yes. So on Monday you basically have like an info market, which well, that day basically shows you everything that's going on. So you have the charities, but also the student associations. Then we have a big opening at the market here in Maastricht. And then on Tuesday you'll go to the SBE. We'll have multiple workshops for you. So basically you can learn how to have some memory techniques to basically remember stuff. It's nice to know that before you go studying. But there's also a motivational speaker to, well, if you have some harder times, how do you get through that? Then all the study associations, your own, will be in the garden, so you get some information there. Then on Wednesday we have a big cultural activity here at the Bonnefante Museum here in Maastricht. So at night you can go inside the museum and there will be a lot of cultural parties outside. Then on Thursday we have a sports event. So you just talked about all the sports associations here. They will all show themselves there, and then you can try out the sports and maybe sign up for one of these associations. And to finally relax on Friday on the beach and have a final party in our big congress hall here in Maastricht.
How much does Inkom cost?
The Inkom is €75 for 5 days full of activities.
I was just going to say that, so it's actually considering the fact that you will, I mean, I don't know what time it starts in the mornings, but basically the entire day will be planned full of activities, also lunch. Yeah, so basically a week long of getting to know Maastricht, getting to know other people in your group. It's really a great opportunity if you're coming to the Netherlands in that week and don't have anything to do. In my case, I did Inkom. I loved it. Really recommendable. Also, even as you were talking about, there are lots of parties and like social events. Even if you're not so much of a party person, don't get put off by that. There are so many other activities which you can join, and if you want to, you can also opt not to go to the parties. So there's really something for everybody in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, highly recommendable.
Yeah, exactly. Like soon we'll show you like the big video and you see how big those parties are. But those parties aren't the main thing about the week. The week is basically getting you to feel at home here in Maastricht. So you get the feeling of what it's like to be a student living here in Maastricht.
Yeah, also if you're thinking of joining a sports association or a student association or basically any kind of student association, any kind of association, this is a great week to get to know them, because everybody will be presenting what do these like associations stand for, what are our values, what do we like to do. So if you're thinking of joining one of those things, definitely check out Inkom.
Can you explain to us when exactly it is? I mean, because like I said before, there's 2 intakes for our study program. Is there also an Inkom in February?
No, unfortunately not. So the Inkom basically is the 20th of August until the 24th of August. Why is it only 1 week a year? And that's basically because a lot of, for example, the sports associations, they start their year then. So they have only 1 intake moment. So if you really want to see everything that's going on, there's only room to organize that once a year. So, but if you started in February, you can still join now in September, or in August, basically. And that's what we see that quite a lot of people do, to really get a feel for what's happening here in Maastricht, because, like I said, this is the one moment that everything is at the same place.
Maybe one word to the wise about student associations, not study associations, but student associations. Basically, all of them or almost all of them are Dutch speaking. So in the case that you're thinking of joining a student association, be aware that you will probably need to speak Dutch. If you don't, of course you can still try to join them and then learn Dutch during that, but just so you know, be prepared for some Dutch speaking going on.
Yeah, you're in Maastricht here, so you'll see everything that Maastricht has to offer, and that offers there's a lot of Dutch people as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. I think that sums up the Inkom week.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I hope to see you all here in August.
Will you be having a speech there?
Yeah, on the market and the opening, I'll have a speech for 7,000 people. Wow, so I'm pretty excited about it.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, 70% of all new bachelor students join the Inkom. So that kind of explains how massive this is, and that's why we think that every student of Maastricht University should take part of the Inkom.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Yeah. We're just going to show a quick video of the parties that Mark mentioned and the Inkom week in general. But thank you again for joining us at the table.
All right, no problem.
Inkom 2017. Legends of Tomorrow.
Some kind of magic that lies underneath. Could have been tragic, but we found the peace. Up to the mountains and under the sheets we go. We go. Work hard and sleepless and wait for the dream. No time to regret what we haven't seen. Letdowns and freakouts and storm clouds and eyes below. Made it out, good life with a couple bad times, a million mistakes, but we made it out fine. This life, yeah, it always finds a way to lead us to these
Welcome back. So we've talked about general student life, we've talked about the admissions process, all the things involved in coming to Maastricht, and now we're going to focus a little bit more on our study program, so the Maastricht Science program, about the introduction week. We have Severin Dufour over here, who's at the OSA, which is the Office of Student Affairs, and obviously our own study association, which Julie touched upon. We have Megan and Julie can both talk about that. So yes.
Well, first I'll start with a save the date. So the introduction at the Maastricht Science program will take place on August 27, 28 and 29, which is Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Kind of be there or be square because it's a mandatory. No, well, I'm exaggerating, but it's you don't want to miss that. Where the Inkom is a more fun activity, our activity is our introduction week is more focused on practicalities of introducing you to life in the Netherlands, life in Maastricht. We'll organize a very nice city tour you'll never forget. Life at MSP, student life in general, but at the study level. We'll also teach you how to use the public transportation in Maastricht, which is, yeah, I mean, it's a challenge on its own. So over the 3 days, we organize lots of activities. We will talk to you about education at MSP, so rules and regulations, but how is education taking place, especially at Maastricht University. We will introduce you to the wondrous world of problem-based learning. You will have a few tutorials. I'm talking shop already. You will, don't worry about it, you will all learn at that time. We will also take you to the Camelot campus. Maybe you've heard about it already. It's not located in Maastricht. It's a city, what is it, 25 kilometers from here, I think. And that's where the bus transportation comes in very handy. Yeah. You will visit the whole campus and a bit more. It's a very specific area where chemistry is involved, where the labs of Maastricht Science Program are located. I don't want to say too much because you need to be surprised when you come here, but it's a very good opportunity not only to learn about what we're about at MSP, but to get to know your fellow freshmen. Yes, that is very important to start you up. You will also meet fellow students. Our hosts of the day, and you will also get to meet in a very informal setting educational staff, yes, professors, and I think that's really it's very special. You don't get that opportunity everywhere, because I forgot to tell you, but we feed you a lot during these 3 days, at least with the coffee and with lunches, cake. We've got lunches, and we have on the second day we have is it a barbecue? Is it something else? We'll see, but we'll feed you anyways. For the parents, there will be no alcohol involved. And our student association, Aperture, they organize the finishing touch, which is a big party, I think on the Wednesday. Yeah. So that's, in a nutshell, that is the introduction program, which you don't want to miss.
Well, that's a good step over then. You already mentioned Aperture. Maybe Megan, can you explain what Aperture is all about?
Yeah, so as it's already been mentioned, Aperture is the study association of MSP here, and basically what we try to do anyway is join the sort of the student life and the social life of students here to the academic side. So we organize external lectures and things. We call them Broaden Your Aperture, so BYAs, where we get external lecturers or sometimes internal lecturers to come in and present various topics that are completely unrelated to or somewhat slightly related to the studies here at MSP. So you can get an idea of different types of subjects and things through these lectures. And then we also organize other events like, the standard parties, plus other things like movie nights and game nights. This weekend we're actually going to go play laser tag, which is kind of exciting. That's basically the sort of thing that we do. And one of the, I suppose, important things that sort of first years coming in need to know is that we also organize a book sale. And the book sales, you can buy any of your books that you need for your classes from us. And we get a discounted price. I think it's 11% off or something like that. And then we also have a deal for first year books. So those are the books that you need for your first semester here at MSP. And that is, I think, like 16% off or something like that, if you buy them in the deal. So it's a very good one. Yeah.
Maybe one thing about Aperture as a study association, if you're part of MSP, if you're a student at MSP, you automatically are a part of Aperture. So sometimes for some events we charge a little bit extra. So for example, for this laser tag that we're doing this weekend, we're asking people to pay around 15 euros. But for the most parties, I would say, entrance is free for all MSP students as you are members of Aperture. And I think you summarized it pretty well.
Is there a Facebook group that people can join? Is there...
Yeah, we have a Facebook account that you can add us as a friend, and if you have any questions, you're always welcome to ask. And we also have a Facebook page. And then I suppose, I don't know if it's been mentioned already, but the Facebook group Students of MSP, we're also quite active between that one. So that's where we post all of our events, and if anyone has any questions or anything regarding studies or life here in Maastricht or anything, they can post their questions on there, and anyone's free to answer, and we're also there to help answer.
I think the Facebook group, specifically our course is very,
very, very relevant.
Exactly. I mean, if you, like Megan said, if you have any questions, literally any at all regarding studies or books or whatever, anyone can answer them. We're all pretty knowledgeable around here. We've been through the same things, so we know what's happening. I think that wraps up the introduction week and the Aperture. There's one more question. We have one more question. I'm sorry about that. The question is, for anyone who's looking for part-time work during their studies, is there any recommendations on where to look?
Mise en place.
Yeah,
That's like a very specific...
There's quite a few companies throughout Maastricht where you can sign up for it, and there's like a sort of 0-hour minimum.
Policy,
so you don't have to do any hours, but you can sign up and you can do the jobs as they come in. So that's anything from like cleaning hotels to waitressing to, I don't know, working university events. Yeah, that sort of thing. Anything like that, and you get paid a relative amount based on what you're working. And it's quite nice if you have a busy schedule like here at MSP, where you can just sort of fill in the gaps. Like, so if you have a Friday off, you can work a little bit.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say there it's important to check, depending with which company you go, if you have to have Dutch health insurance. Because for some you may need it, for some possibly not. I don't know actually. But make sure you check that out beforehand.
And I think that the university also sometimes have opportunities for student assistants.
Through our the library as well.
Yeah,
which is a great
so
job.
there's really I think quite a few opportunities for students
There's
to work.
a student, I mean, the university run like job center thing. I think it's called Interim.
Yes.
Which is basically where you can go if you want to work for the university, or if you have any other questions regarding work. They can help you out. So you just Google Maastricht Interim, and then think that'll take you the right places. But thank you. I don't think we have any last questions. If anyone does have any last questions, we're going to run one more video. You can ask them then. We'll be back afterwards to answer anything else. But thank you for joining us at the table.
See you soon.
Yeah.
Take is heavy with the thought of you. The moment I wake, I'm chasing signs. Never give up, I never give up. It's never enough, it's never enough. You're number one, scared that the sun won't shine on me. I've been holding on for some kind of miracle.
Your future lies ahead, and only one question remains. In which town will it begin?
Welcome back. It seems like we don't have any more questions, so we're going to wrap up the live stream. But just to remind you guys, sign up for all the things as soon as possible, like the Maastricht housing, Inkom. There's a bunch of things that you can sign up for. Do that as soon as possible. Also, remind yourselves about the deadlines. Obviously, there's deadlines regarding our study courses, but also deadlines regarding just general student living. And another final tip, maybe just don't be afraid to ask questions if you need to know something that we didn't cover today. There are a bunch of helpful links and a bunch of people you can contact if you go onto the Maastricht University website. or just if regarding our study program, you can obviously contact the admissions office or whoever else you need.
Yeah.
From me. Seems we do have one question though. On arrival, what is the process of getting a contact? I'm not sure. Okay. We're going to put up the contact details in a minute. So, sorry? Oh, a phone contract. A phone contract. It's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
There's a bunch of different places you can go. You can go to Vodafone, T-Mobile, KPN. They all, I think, a few of them require BSN or a specific or residence, obviously, something like that.
But it's straightforward.
It's straightforward.
If you just go there and be like, I want a phone contract, they'll explain to you what you have to do. That's the thing. Like, don't be scared. People, just go to somebody, ask them a question, and then they'll tell you the answer. But I don't think there's anything specific for a phone contract which is needed.
No.
But I think that should be pretty straightforward. Yeah.
All right. Well, this video is going to be live on our YouTube. Oh, not live. Sorry, it's going to be published on the YouTube channel of the Maastricht Science program. So if you want to recap anything that we discussed today, you can find it over there. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in and watching today's session.
And we'll see you next year.
Yeah.